Our next lesson is on where to put our tent when we come to our campsite. We're often feeling very tired, but we're often in a beautiful location. So when we get to a campsite, we take a drink, we have a relax, but it is important in the wilderness to get our shelter up so that if anything happens, like some rain or a storm comes in, that we've got somewhere to shelter ourselves and also put our equipment and food in the tent, because animals do like to come and take our food. So this lesson is to look at some principles of where to put our tent and how to put up a basic tent. As you'll see around here, the first thing I'm going to look for is some danger from above, and particularly the danger is from trees. And you'll notice this tree, this gum tree over here, you don't want to put your tent under there, because if there's a severe windstorm, there's a chance that tree will come on top of you. And the other thing, the danger I'm noticing here is there's a creek down here, and I don't want to go too close to that creek for two reasons. The first one, if there is a lot of rain upstream, even rain that we don't get ourselves, flooding can happen. And the other thing that we need to make sure is that we don't pollute the water source. If anything, we're too close to that creek, but for the purposes of this exercise, we're just keeping our distance from that creek line. Now, if I can just ask you to step back a little bit, I'm going to show you the basics of a tent. In a tent, you're going to have pegs to peg down the base of your tent and peg down your fly. You'll have likely some fiberglass poles which will form the frame of your tent, and as you see, they just click together to form a big frame. Two other things, you've got your actual tent itself. You'll see that's got waterproof material on the bottom of it, and then you've got your fly on top, and that's important as well. So we're going to go as quick as we can with my son to put up this tent and explain it as we go. So let's go. The first thing you do is you roll out your tent like this, just in the square. And what we want to do is we'll put the we'll go around this way with the floor, with the door facing out. Just one point, always sleep with your head above your feet, because if it's the other way around, all the blood will flow back into your head and you have all kinds of funny dreams and an uncomfortable night. So what we do now is we grab a pole. I just get you to take that pole in there, Joey, over there. At the corner of the tent, there will be a little, like a stick that you can put your tent pole into the end of it, just like that. And all we do, and make sure your plastic poles are in, we just lift up these clips and just start slotting it on like that really quickly. Most of you would have done this, I'd suggest, at a camping trip, but it's important just to go through the basics again, just in case for those that don't know. Then we'll grab the other pole and put that pole together. Just pass me the end. And it clicks together very, very easily. This tent, you can get this tent for about $60 in Anaconda. Okay, so putting the end down in there, getting the get that frame in there, thanks. Okay, some people get a bit worried that the poles will snap. They won't snap. They're designed to bend. Let's put that pole in there like that. Okay, and what we do now is clip it on again. Just put the clips on. And we're starting to get the frame of our tent. And I'll just tie this together here. Now, some people are tempted not to put the fly on because it's not going to rain, but what happens when you've got people inside a tent and moisture around, there's going to be a lot of condensation. They become very, very wet. So the final thing we put on, what I haven't done actually, is we need to go around and make sure we peg each corner. Let's get you to do two over there, thanks. 2 pegs there. Make sure you push them down as hard as you can, because if the wind blows, your tent will blow with it. Terrific. The final thing is this important thing called the fly. Now sometimes they're a little bit hard to work out where they go. Pull that across there. The fly goes across the tent like that and just goes on the outside. On the inside here, I won't do all of them, but there should be there'll be ties to tie onto your frame. So just tie that on there like that. We won't do all of them. And very importantly, if we've got one more peg, you just put your fly out a little bit from the tent to create a gap between your tent and the fly. That means the fly will take all the condensation and you'll stay nice and dry inside. So that's a pretty quick way to put up a tent. You work together and communicate, and very importantly, practice at home before we come away. You don't want to put up a new tent for the first time in a wilderness environment. So just to double check, there's nothing that's going to fall on me that I can see. I'm not going to be in a puddle if it rains. I'm not going to be washed out by a flash flood. So I'm probably set up for a pretty comfortable night to enjoy the bush with my mates. That's how to put up a tent. Thanks. Bye.